People, let's keep 100. Let's keep it a buck. This could genuinely suck a lot of wee-wee. Like, this could suck Donovan levels of wee-wee. Which are levels of wee-wee no one ever wants to be associated with. Those kind of levels of just, oh, sweet baby, Jesus, help me. If it's that bad, I guarantee you a lot of One Piece fans are like, no, want nothing to do with this at all. Just how a lot of fans are, obviously, with the Dragon Ball Z live action movie. That you don't see a lot of people that are Dragon Ball Z fans talk about that live action movie. Why? Because it was straight trash. It was garbage. The Death Note cats as well. You don't see a lot of Death Note folks talk about the live action Death Note because it sucked. It sucked. This could be some kind of mutated baby, like some kind of hellspawn, a mound of fecal matter, a combo between Dragon Ball Z and then Death Note, and then boom, you have the One Piece Netflix adaptation. It's just absolute garbage. On the flip side, though, this could be really damn good. Like, if it was damn good, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, we're not gonna stop talking about it. Like, hey yo, Bleach, where you at, son? Huh? That movie was yikes. But our One Piece Netflix special, we feeling real good right now. Like, goddamn, man, want to check it out. Now that I have to do, just, go on Netflix. I know you already subscribed to Netflix. Just, click on that button and just look at the greatness of Monkey D. Luffy. So it could go, I think, one way or another way. Could it be okay? Yeah, it could be okay. But I feel like there's more of a chance to where it's going to be either pretty good or just straight trash. I think the extremes are more likely in this case for the Netflix adaptation, the live imagine that. The memes of manga, anime, and the Netflix adaptation are actually going to come to fruition in relatively soon. Like, give or take a few years. Because Oda apparently now wants this to happen. Like, years ago, I want to say like 2014, 2013, like years ago, Oda, I think, strongly alluded to like, nah, man, no mas, hell no. And then 3 years later, in 2017, he was like, okay, it's happening, Netflix, let's do this, woohoo! And then we were like dead quiet for another 3 years. Like, Oda, Oda, where's the Netflix? Nothing. Not a peep, not a word. And then here we are at the beginning of 2020. Boom. Netflix. We're back with the One Piece. One Piece. And Jitsune Zuru. It's here. It exists. And it's coming. And honestly, I think it's going to be pretty damn good. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking, this is gonna be doo-doo. This is gonna be some straight trash. But I'm gonna be more on the positive side here because I feel like Oda wasn't slouching around those 3 years. He was planning and thinking about who to get and what to do and how to actually make it adaptable to the Netflix spectrum and like the Netflix audience. Because we're talking about like the original first season of One Piece is East Blue. That's 53 episodes long. And we'll see what they do in the Netflix special, obviously. It could be, I doubt it'll be not East Blue, like it could be maybe Grand Line, but I doubt that. It could be one arc, like the entire thing could be just one arc, but I doubt that. I would like to believe there's going to be at least up until Arlong Park. They may not get to Logtown, but at least I would like to believe that they could do up until Arlong Park. But they're only 10 episodes. That's the thing. So that's still condensing it tremendously so. But Oda's on board as an executive producer, which on one hand, okay, so there's something there. He's not exactly like, let's say, gonna have the final say so, obviously, on what to do and not to do. But he's Oda, and you would obviously assume that the directors and the writers, I believe that the director is a guy named Matt Owens, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Luke Cage. And then the writer, I know, worked with the X-Files. But the studio is Tomorrow Studio. So real quick, this is the company behind the project with CEO Marty Adelstein producing the series. According to the reports, the production cost per episode will range from $9 to $10 million. This is quite big of a budget, but it'll help the production be consistent with Oda's condition to keep the series faithful to the story and the fans who support the manga series for over 20 years. And then actually, let me also read his own comments on Twitter, where Oda states this. Kaizogo ni Ore wa naru! I'm gonna be the king! Ooh! Then he states, I know I announced the production of this back in 2017, but these things take time. Preparations have been slowly progressing behind the scenes, and it seems that I can finally make the big announcement. Netflix, the world's leading streaming entertainment source, will be lending us their tremendous production support. This is so encouraging. How far will the story progress over the 10 episodes of season 1? Who will be cast? Please be patient a little longer and stay tuned. It's Shira Oda. So again, I'm going to faithfully believe that Oda wasn't, messing around. Like, his wee-wee wasn't out. He was just having a good old time. No, I want to believe genuinely so that Oda's actually put effort into this. But on the flip side, even though he's an executive producer, I'm not a fan of it that much because as a manga fan, his focus must be getting split. Like, it must have been. Either it was or it is. Or it's going to be. Whatever's going to happen, it's going to be split. Which to me is not necessarily a good thing, obviously, because if his focus is split, then the manga potentially will not be as coherent and won't be as good as it should be, considering how we're in the midst of Wano country. So in a few months' time, when we actually start, getting the cast and seeing what's well with the Netflix special, and then we compare what's going on with that to, let's say, the manga, and if it's really sucking when it shouldn't be sucking at all, then we'll know, Oda, this man's focus is split. It's right down the middle. The man's not focused on the manga because he's an executive producer of the Netflix special, which we want to see do good because we're still One Piece fans. We still want to see it do good. It is what is there. Now, for me, the best things to look at for what is good would be the Rurouni Kenshin trilogy or the Witcher Netflix, which I have not seen yet. Apparently, it's really good, but I haven't seen it yet for The Witcher. But that's a game to the live-action Netflix, whereas a manga and anime, more often than not, tend to be wonkier. Manga and anime tend to be a lot more extravagant and absurd in nature. But then also, there is the Alita Battle Angel movie, which is from manga to movie, which I think was pretty good. I think it was pretty good. I'm not gonna front. So there are the bad examples, obviously, of the atrocious Dragon Ball Z live action. There is the Bleach movie live action. Like, oh, the soundtrack on the Bleach live action movie was abysmal. Kill me. And then, of course, I mean, you can even throw in, man, I hate to do it to you guys. I really do. So I apologize in advance. But remember The Last Airbender live? Oh, my butt cheeks are so tight. God damn. Oh, so bad.
The f*** you say to me, you little
It was so bad. The Avatar. Stop. Please. M. Night. What were you thinking, man? How do you have a prison camp for the Earthbenders when they're surrounded by Earth? So there are bad examples, obviously. Death Note as well. But then there are good examples. Again, Rurouni Kenshin trilogy is fantastic, and there's another one coming out for Onishi. That one I must see. They've been on point so far for the past 3, amazing. Then, of course, there is Witcher, and then finally, Alita Battle Angel. Now, a lot of folks I know comparing what we're seeing here with the One Piece to, let's say, Game of Thrones, like when it comes to budget. But let me remind you guys this. Game of Thrones is not One Piece. So, in order for it to, let's say, be good, One Piece, the live-action adaptation, one of the key things is the CG, the CGI. This cannot suck. If it sucks, then the entire goddamn adaptation is going down the gutter. Alright, like genuinely down the gutter. And we're not gonna touch it with a 15-foot pole. We're not. And the problem is that even though according to the sites, they're saying that the budget is gonna be like, let's say 9 or 10 mil, and it's gonna be consistent, how much of that is going to be for the CG? It has to be a tremendous amount. In fact, the CG is probably going to be the most expensive part of the show. We're talking about Luffy, Gum Gum No, flying on all over the goddamn place, doing, dude, I mean, forget about Luffy. Imagine the fishmen. I would like to believe that they have a nice costume design set ready to go, and they may do it old school, which would be dope. But if not, there's gonna be a lot of CG for the fishmen, and it's gonna be like, oh no, no, please, for like the gigantic ships, for things like Mihawk, because I mean Mihawk's sword is ridiculous. Like how you gonna have? I mean, who knows? Things are gonna get kind of wrong when it comes to CG, absolutely. And again, we're not too sure. I'm going to assume that they're gonna do East Blue stuff first. They could hop to other stuff as well, like maybe Grand Line stuff, but I doubt that. And it could be one arc in particular, but I kind of doubt that as well. But things are going to get wonky for sure, and the CG has to properly express that, which is going to be the reason why that budget, I think, for the most part, is going to go to CG. It has to. Which means that even if Game of Thrones, at the beginning, I think, had a similar budget to the One Piece Netflix live-action adaptation, it's not an equivalent there. They're not equal. Because it's how you utilize that budget, or at least what you need to use it for, per se. Like, even come the end of the Game of Thrones, in like season 8, they were spending tens of millions for those seasons. Tens of millions. And that's Game of Thrones. Let's say we do get, like, let's say a season, I mean, not even season 5, like let's say we get to, Alabasta with Crocodile and freaking goddamn Mr. One and Bone-chan, and stuff just happening. And it's like, wait, whoa. That CG budget, in order for a good CG, it's going to be quite hefty if it ever goes that far for the One Piece live action. But again, we're going to hope that it actually can make that in spades because it's going to be that popular. At least you would hope. And because of the budget cost, when it comes to the acting cast, I'm going to earnestly believe that it's not going to have any major actors. Like, I would love, ideally, a Joaquin Phoenix be Buggy. That if you just smile. I would love a Joaquin Phoenix as a Buggy, but that's not gonna happen. I know a lot of folks have been doing things like I saw Jason Momoa as Kaido, which would be dope, man. That'd be dope, and he fit the role very perfectly. But being realistic, I don't see it going that far. But if it does, then okay, again, if it's really, really damn good, there's potential there, obviously. But I don't see the adaptation getting any major actors from the big screen Hollywood, like a DiCaprio or Brad Pitt or Denzel or a Samuel. I don't see it happening at all. I really, really don't. Because they would require a lot of money. Like a Liam Neeson would require a lot of money. And again, most of that budget is going to go for CG. I don't know that for a second. So the acting cast still has to be top notch, like really good lads and ladies, but within that budget scope. However, it cannot be an all Japanese cast. I swear. It cannot be an all Japanese cast. In fact, what's going to benefit them is that they actually have a very diverse cast because it's actually indicative of the world itself. If it's an all Japanese cast, that's not gonna cut it, honestly. It's not gonna feel right. It's not gonna be right, because even Oda himself has said like various things. Like I think that he said that Luffy would be Brazilian or something like that. It cannot be all Japanese. It's just that simple. It's gonna throw a lot of cats off, including myself. No doubt about that. No question about that. Another thing that about it too. Before I forget, I would also hope that this cast is somewhat familiar with the One Piece story. You would assume that in order to probably emote the characters and make sure that the roles are on point, like we do know that Henry Cavill, the guy that plays Witcher, he actually played those games religiously, apparently. He's played them religiously so he can act out the role appropriately. I would like to believe that when it comes to the acting cast, they will at least be very familiar with the pre-time skip of One Piece, at the bare minimum, okay? And maybe like the entire pre-time skip. I mean, it'll be like the one time, like the one time.
Call me an asshole. One more time.
The one time I'll accept folks skipping Skypiea, just the one time. You really shouldn't, but whatever. They have to emote the role appropriately. I would hope that they actually have watched/read the story up until a certain point in time. Now, because there's also a major time constraint for 10 episodes, they are going to cut and rearrange the material from the anime manga. That is just inevitable, because they have to make the scenes flow better. If it's East Blue, they're gonna take 53 episodes, 53 episodes, and they're going to condense them into 10 episodes. East Blue, for a 10 episode season 1, is tremendous, honestly, to just cut out a lot of that content. Which is why I'm saying, if it's East Blue, they may not even get to Locktown. They may end it off on a high note, if you would, a high note, with Arlong Park. And then Luffy beating Arlong, and then boom, there you go. Compared to the anime, the pace is going to be worlds faster, without question. And the details, keep it real. Keep it real. The minute little details that kind of make the story a bit better, I guarantee you. Like, I remember when Usopp and Luffy and company, when they were testing out the cannons, and then you were seeing Usopp's marksmanship because he was so damn good, because he could actually hit the rock in the distance. Those things, I guarantee you, will be cut out. Without question, they'll be cut out for the sake of the overall flow. And if the details are cut, keep it real. Keep it real. The fights will also be cut. The fights will be shorter. Absolutely, they'll be shorter. East Blue fights will definitely be shorter. Like an Usopp and Chu will be shorter. A Luffy, and I can imagine too, a Luffy and Don Krieg will be shorter. Potentially Zoro and Mihawk will be shorter. A lot of the fights are going to be shorter or just cut from the story. And also, other characters, 100% this. You know the fights are going to get cut. Guarantee this too. Characters will be cut from the story as well. I can see them cutting characters like Johnny and Yosaku. I can see them cutting even Jin. I can see them cutting a lot of characters from the East Blue as well. Just flat out gone. For the overall sake of the flow of the season, they may not be that important. You see what I'm saying? Like, you can still get things across fairly nicely and smoothly without some of these characters. So even though some of these characters we do want to see, like for me, Jin, hell yeah, but I can see them cutting Jin, which would be unfortunate, but I can understand why, for the overall sake and flow of the season. Another of my concerns is absolutely how the characters kind of operate fundamentally. I don't see them changing fundamentally, but they could be altered in, I think, key elements or in key ways, so they kind of jive better with today's climate of movies and shows and so on. Because again, this is a live action Netflix. It's going to be viewed by folks around the world, and there are certain keys to success. And one thing that does kind of concern me is that Luffy and Zoro in particular, but potentially for the entire, first half of the crew. So like Usopp, Sanji, Nami as well. They're very outgoing, flamboyant, bombastic, like larger than life people. That I think is going to be taken down a few pegs. Like, I wouldn't go as far as to say it's going to be like Man of Steel Superman. Like, there's the Superman that we know of in like the actual comics and in the movie, in the animated TV show and so on, like the shining symbol of hope and so on. And then there's Man of Steel Superman that's kind of depressing. Like, the dude is really a downer. So Man of Steel may not be like a best example of this, but you can kind of see how with Man of Steel, they did rein in Superman for the audience's sake. And a lot of folks do like that Man of Steel movie. It's not Superman, but it's not necessarily a bad version of Superman. Like it's not the guy that we know and love in the, comics and in the TV show. Like, the symbol of hope, like, you know what I mean? But the movie itself was still pretty good. Honestly, one of the best in like the DC movie lineup, that Man of Steel movie, truth be told. So I can see that happening somewhat with Luffy, Zoro in particular, as well as, Sanji, Nami, and so on. I would say at the end of the day, try to enjoy it for what it is, whatever it is. Whether it's gonna be some crazy, bombastic, woo, I can't you may wa Kagi Azume, or it's some guy with the regular red t-shirt on a freaking rowboat. Just for whatever it is, just enjoy it, okay? Because even if it doesn't do good, it won't really change anything. Think of Dragon Ball Z Evolution, that absolutely horrid live action movie. It aired, it was bad, and then we moved on. It was trash, we all knew it, we moved on. Think of the Death Note one, where we have the recent one shot that blew up. Haven't read it yet, but I will. It blew up. But before that, the lesson we got for Death Note was the freaking live action. But folks didn't talk about it, it sucked. Move on. There was a Bleach live action movie. And Bleach potentially, hopefully, please, Kubo could be making a comeback for an anime. And there's a one-shot coming out for Burn the Witch and so on. Kubo is making moves, but no one is talking about that live action movie. Just move on. It doesn't really change anything, potentially, when it comes to the live action's failure. If it does fail. But if it succeeds and it's good, then the fan base of One Piece will grow. And that, my friends, is the main end game. If the One Piece fan base grows, then we as One Piece fans are happy campers. Hell yeah. More One Piece fans is a way better deal for us. Absolutely. So the community can potentially grow or not change at all when it comes to the live action adaptation. Because there's already a stigma behind it where a lot of folks expect it to not do, like you can see on Twitter, a lot of folks are like, oh no,
Watch out!
You fools! What have you done? But I want to say, listen, man, even if they fundamentally change it, and here's the thing, even if they fundamentally, like let's say like they actually do go Man of Steel and they fundamentally change it and they make it grittier, they make it more realistic, like we actually get to see raping and pillaging and actual hardcore pirate stuff and we're not messing around, like Buggy is executing, like when we get to Buggy, he's executing dudes, like almost like a Pirates of the Caribbean feel. You see what I'm saying? Ooh, if they want to make it something like that, even though it's not the glorious One Piece that we know, it's still pretty damn good. So there are options. There are a lot of options here. And I'm looking forward to seeing what Ichiro Oda and Netflix can produce. Even though Oda wants to, really keep it to the core story, he's only the executive producer. He doesn't have the final say-so. He does not. And that actually could be a good thing. It could be a bad thing, but it could also be a damn good thing. Because Oda's a Japanese lad. He's an awesome dude. We all love him, but he doesn't get out much, you know? Meaning he hasn't seen the rest of the world. He's still in Japan. And that mindset is still, it's still relatively narrow compared to potentially what the writers and the director and the team can do. What they envision could be something far more grandiose and just overall better for, let's say, casual, maybe not even casual fans, like non-One Piece fans, or just fans that aren't even anime fans, but want to watch a very good Netflix live adaptation. See what I'm saying? So there's room to grow. We'll see how it goes. But let me know your stance on the subject matter at hand. I'm going to catch you guys and gals later. Be sure to rate the video. It is not that hard to do. I guarantee you that, because I know that you all have a device called, here we go, Zaymouse Shoe. Zaymouse Shoe. To click, rate the video. To click, subscribe. To click on that bell to join the squad. And of course, as always, feel free to please do comment in the comment section down below. Peace. And have a nice goddamn day.